Steve Merrill back here with the preview for the Lakers Hawks tonight on Tuesday. This game tips off at 7:30 Eastern in Atlanta. And as of Tuesday afternoon, while I'm doing this here for you on WagerTalk TV, the Lakers have not submitted their injury report, but the betting markets and the odds makers sure think they're going to be practicing some load management tonight. And that's why the Hawks have gone from 4.5 all the way up to a 6.5 point favorite. But the total has actually risen as well from 245.5 up to 248. So even if LeBron and Anthony Davis, one or the other or both, do not play tonight, the total is still going higher. And I think that makes sense. We're going to have a playground mentality in this game tonight. And first of all, the reason that the betting markets assume that the Lakers could be a little shorthanded is because this team played last night a 135-119 loss to the Houston Rockets on the road. And LeBron and Davis did both play. In fact, LeBron played almost 37 minutes. Davis played almost 29 minutes. LeBron had a little bit of foul trouble, actually, with 4 fouls. And the two players combined made up the majority of the minutes and points for the Lakers, 46 points combined. By the way, Russell had 23 along with each Davis and James. So I do think a Russell prop over tonight, if he's in the lineup as well, could be worth a look here, especially if Davis and or LeBron do not play. Got to be careful with these inflated lines. I've said this for a couple years now. Whenever the shorthanded team is getting inflated line value, they've covered about 70% of the time the last couple of seasons. And that's one of the reasons I probably would not necessarily be looking at the Hawks. And by the way, Atlanta, now 11-35 against the spread this year, one of the worst point spread records in recent history halfway through the NBA season. So yes, they're due to start covering, but I'm not in a hurry to lay an inflated line with a team that's just 11-35 against the spread. So I think the total is the way to play this game tonight at 7:30 Eastern, and that's over 248. Once again, even with the load management concerns, this line has risen higher because there's going to be very little defense tonight, and that's exactly what we saw last night between Houston and LA. Lakers gave up 53% shooting for the fourth time in their last 6 games, and it's one of the reasons they are struggling. In fact, the Lakers have now gone over 6 games in a row, and I think it's 7 straight tonight. Take a look at over 248. Hawks have no problem playing high scoring overs this season, and I think we get another no defense, all offense game tonight in Atlanta.
The Toronto Raptors take on the Chicago Bulls later tonight, reeling of a 5-game losing streak that culminated in a last-second loss against the Atlanta Hawks on Sunday. Something they'll obviously hope to avoid extending later tonight against the Bulls. You know, that will likely be difficult, however, given how thin Toronto's lineup looks right now as they head into Chicago on Tuesday night without RJ Barrett, their second highest scorer in the season so far, and with Emmanuel Quickly and Jakob Poeltl questionable for tonight's game. Also, that said, they do face the Chicago Bulls team in this one that, you know, had an awful lot go their way in Sunday's win against Portland. The Bulls have been on a 2-game losing skid prior to that matchup and shot just 25% from outside the arc against the Blazers in that game as well. Chicago's ability to get points inside the paint, however, and even more importantly, not give up turnovers, saw them pull away late in that game. But that scenario is unlikely to play out for a second straight time tonight against the Raptors. You know, the Bulls' 5 turnovers given up on Sunday against Portland was one of their lowest marks the entire season in that department, easily the lowest mark out of any team in the league on last game sample size as well. So, you know, like I said, it's unlikely they can come anywhere near matching that same tally here again tonight. You know, factor in Chicago's, 4.8% turnover per offensive play ratio as well. Philadelphia's was up at 15.1% in that same category as a comparison, along with Chicago's points in the paint numbers seeing a marked increase across the last 3 starts as well, from those season-long numbers. And if we see any kind of dip in those numbers at all later tonight, that plus 6.5 points for Toronto suddenly looks like some value, especially against a team in Chicago that ranks 23rd in opponent effective field goal percentage across their last 3 starts as well. So definite lean towards taking the points on the road with the Raptors. But in terms of a best bet, I'm going to turn over to another game on tonight's card and look at a side in the Indiana Pacers-Boston Celtics matchup. But before I do, I just want to remind everyone that WagerTalk's running their deepest discount of the entire year right now. Super Bowl to Super Bowl, all access, a full year of all picks released. That's 5% plays as well from the handicapper of your choice at an $800 discount. Doesn't get much bigger than that. And with the Super Bowl still almost 2 weeks away as well, the sooner you lock in that discount, the more free days you get ahead of it as well. So make sure and check out that deal listed over on the WagerTalk deals page as soon as possible. In terms of a best bet winner ever, this is the only play I fired on for tonight's card, and that's the Boston Celtics to win and cover at home against the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers have looked good across the last three starts, coming out with wins against the 76ers, Phoenix Suns, Memphis Grizzlies, respectively. But this looks like it has the potential to be a flat spot for them on Tuesday night. The Pacers have averaged a massive 37.6 points in the third quarter of their last three games, including 41 points against Memphis on Sunday. But that's an area Boston has excelled in nullifying against teams this season, ranking fourth in opponent's second half points per game this year, as well as sixth in opponent's third quarter scoring in particular. So we may well see a bit of a slowdown after the break from the Pacers in this one than what they've shown across the last few starts. On top of that, the Celtics lost a heartbreaker against the Pacers in a back-to-back meeting just 3 weeks ago. The Pacers hit 2 free throws late in that one, final second type stuff to edge out Boston in that game. Something the Celtics will no doubt remember. It's only been 3 weeks heading into tonight's matchup. Jason Tatum was also out for the Celtics in that meeting. That's not the case for tonight's game. He's back. So kind of like about the Boston Celtics tonight on home court in semi-revenge mode as well. And, I like the Celtics get the win and cover at home on Tuesday against the Pacers. Best bet. That'll do it for me. Don't forget to like the video. And as always, drop your own predictions for this matchup down in the comment section below. Till next time, best of luck on all your bets and Slán all you.
Steve Merrill back with a free NBA play for you tonight on Tuesday. And it's the late night game at 10 o'clock Eastern on the West Coast, Philadelphia and Golden State. We'll let you know the best way to play this game and make a little bit of money when you do so tonight on Tuesday. Just a quick reminder, I have another NBA best bet that's even stronger tonight. I do have one official NBA best bet and 2 college basketball best bets. That's right. It's a 3-pack for Tuesday. It's a 3-for-1 special. Single games are 25 or get all 3 for 29. Fantastic 3-for-1 value tonight from a handicapper that's been just red hot. In fact, over the past month, nearly 60% combined in football and basketball best bets. And it should be no surprise, as over the past 2 years combined, nobody has won more in all sports sides in football, baseball, and basketball combined at WagerTalk. Now's a great time to get on board the 3-pack tonight on Tuesday or take a serious investment approach. My 1-year all-access special is still available. Instant $800 discount with promo code SM365. Works out to just over $3 a day. That's just over $1 a play tonight with that all-access, all-year special. Check it out on my page along with bonus daily free plays. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. All right, last night on Monday, the Philadelphia 76ers were a double-digit favorite, about a 10.5-point favorite during the afternoon in their game on the road at Portland. I even did a solo video saying here that I thought that if Embiid played, they'd be worth a look. Even without him, they might be worth a look. Well, he did not play. Maxey did not play either, and that line closed at -5.5. But unlike situations this season in which the shorthanded team normally gets the cover about 70% of the time, Philadelphia laid an egg. They lost 130 to 104. Now they're traveling without rest, playing their 4th straight road game. They also have a road game to finish this road trip off at Utah on Thursday. So not a good setup here tonight, and it's hard to imagine Embiid or Max you're going to play. Now, as I do this video on Tuesday afternoon, the 76ers have not submitted their official injury report yet. But once again, with Embiid and Maxey missing the last couple games and now a travel no-rest situation, you'd have to think they're probably not playing. And I think the betting markets are saying that. Golden State did open as high as a 4.5-point favorite. Now it's down to 3.5. But I want to focus on the total in this game. I don't trust Philly after they laid that egg last night. Shorthanded teams have been very good moneymakers the last couple of seasons, but Philly did not do so last night. That's always a red flag for me. But what I do think will be the case once again is very little defense. Philadelphia gave up 130 points last night to a bad Portland offense. They gave up 55% shooting. In fact, it's the second time in the last 3 games they've given up 55% shooting or worse. And now no rest and travel. Shorthanded team most likely. Look for no defense again tonight from the 76ers. And meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors, who have been known for defense over the years, they're not playing very good defense either. In fact, if you go back over the last 10 or 12 games, they've given up over 50% shooting or worse in over half those games. They've given up 279 combined points the last 2 games out. Those 2 games have totaled 267 points and 289 points combined. We've now seen them go over 3 straight, and they've gone over 7 of their last 8. I don't think anything changes tonight. I think there's some overvalue with this game. Golden State playing very little defense and playing much faster. By the way, those last 2 games were not even in overtime. 289 points in that Laker game this past weekend on Saturday. There's still some value with the over in Golden State, especially since Philly might be shorthanded. It's keeping this line in check. Take over 235.5 between Philly and Golden State tonight at 10 Eastern on Tuesday. And don't forget, I have 3 strong official best bets, 2 college, 1 NBA. They're each 25 or get all 3 for just 29. It's a 3-for-1 special for Tuesday night. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.